Indigenous practices towards conservation. So there are several indigenous practices or the practices which have been followed uh, by the tribal people, especially in our country. Some indigenous practices in India are collection and storage of rainwater, celebrating festivals related to nature, protection of sacred groves or sacred forest, natural methods of pest control and storage of food, worship of trees and celebrating related festivals. There are many advantages of indigenous practices. Some of them are: indigenous practices conserve natural resources and they are eco-friendly. Indigenous practices are better adapted, eco-friendly, geo-climatic in conditions as compared to modern agriculture systems. Indigenous practices provide basis for solving problems of local community, especially the poor. Indigenous practices play vital roles in equity, adaptability, and sustainability of the society and natural resources. Indigenous techniques or technologies and knowledge are found to be socially acceptable, affordable, sustainable, and having minimum risk factors. Most of the indigenous practices are eco-friendly and do no harm to the nature. So, one of the practices is forest gardens. Forest gardens are in practice for centuries in places like Java. In this forest, products with high food value are grown. For example, fruits, vegetables, meat, eggs, etc. Up to 250 different species of herbs, climbers, and shrubs are grown. Apart from poultry and sheep, forest gardens also have fish ponds. Compost, fish pond mud, and green manures are commonly used on cropland. These are sufficient to maintain soil fertility and there is no need for chemical fertilizers. The next practice is shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is an agricultural system in which areas of land are cultivated for a short time, but there are some disadvantages, and they are: it destroys watersheds, it leads to loss of biodiversity, and it leads to deforestation. There is another practice, aquaculture, or farming fishes or aquatic animals. Practice of farming aquatic animals on water bodies is called aquaculture. Benefits of aquaculture are: it enhances the production of food for human consumption, it creates employment, it gives opportunity to open commercially viable business, it contributes to increased national exports. Soil fertility management is another practice being done continuously followed in different parts of the world. Farmers have developed indigenous techniques to improve and manage soil fertility. Farmers in certain parts of Africa use termite mounds, which are suitable for growing sorghum and cowpea. Farmers in Mexico use ant refuge as fertilizers for crops of tomato, chili, and onion. Farmers in Senegal take benefits of acacia trees. These trees draw nutrients from deep under the soil and store them in their fruits and roots. They provide these nutrients to the neighboring crops. Similarly, the dung of livestock also enrich the quality of soil. Then pest control practices are also one of the very important practices for the agricultural farmers. The farmers of citrus fruits in China mostly use predaceous ants, some kind of very dangerous ants, to protect the crop from insects. The farmers connect different trees with bamboo bridges so that the killers ants can move from one tree to another. Ducks, fish, and frogs are traditionally used by farmers to protect paddy crops from the insects. In Sri Lanka, large trees are growing around paddy fields to provide nesting for birds. Similar pest control practices are also followed in different parts of the world. Thank you.